Tonight on Y News. Meralco to reduce power rates for the second straight month in June. Foreign Affairs Chief Teddy Locsin says the Philippines will no longer send its delegation to climate change conferences outside the country. PhilHealth files administrative complaints against a dialysis center for reportedly claiming benefits from deceased patients. And cherry picking attracts tourists in Japan during spring season. Good evening. Meralco customers may expect lower electricity bills this month. The power distributor even said power rates may become lower come the rainy season. Joanano will tell us why.
For the second month in a row, the Manila Electric Company or Meralco will implement power rate adjustments. According to Meralco, their customers may expect a power rate reduction of 19 centavos per kilowatt-hour this month. This means the electricity bill of a household that consumes 200 kilowatt-hour a month will be 38 pesos lower. 57 pesos for a 300 kilowatt-hour consumption a month, 76 pesos for a 400 kilowatt-hour use, and 95 pesos for a 500 kilowatt-hour use in a month. The decrease in Meralco's power rate is brought about by lower generation charge and other rates the power distributor charges. Last month, the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines or NGCP declared yellow alert status in Luzon 10 times, while a red alert status was declared once due to a thin supply of electricity. Meralco said it would be possible to lower the power rate more this month if there were less alert warnings.
Kung walang yellow alert, meaning the supply was sufficient and we also had enough reserves, mas malamang mapapasa na ang presyo ng kuryente sa spot market.
Based on Meralco's forecast, electricity rates may continue to decrease come the rainy season. This as customers use electricity less.
Ang makikita na lang siguro natin kung sakali mag-increase yung ating electricity bills is because primarily due to more consumption o mas maraming paggamit po ng kuryente sapagkat as far as rates are concerned, bumaba nga po yung presyo ng kuryente.
Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Pasig City.
The Department of Education assured it is taking measures to solve the issue on the faculty office at the Bacoor National High School in Cavite. The issue arose after a teacher posted a message on Facebook saying they are trying to transform a comfort room into a space for the faculty. DEPED explained that the situation stemmed from the decision of the school to move to single-shift classes this school year. It said this resulted in faculty rooms, which are intended originally as classrooms, needing to be converted back into additional classrooms to realize the policy. The school has an enrollment of more than 7,000 learners. To address the issue and similar concerns, DEPED said it has included in its 2020 budget request to the Department of Budget and Management or DBM the funding for an initial batch of such buildings that will have space for principal's office, faculty room, guidance room, library, and school supplies and equipment storage in times of calamities. Starting June 18, mobile phone service subscribers can request network service providers to unlock their phones. This is based on the memorandum circular of the National Telecommunications Commission directing telcos to unlock mobile phone and devices. Mon Hokson explains why.
Mobile phone service subscribers can now easily transfer to another network service provider because of Department of Information and Communications Technology or DICT's order to the National Telecommunication Commission or NTC to unlock mobile phones and devices. Currently, Filipinos can buy phones through mobile subscription plans offered by telecommunication firms. However, that arrangement restricts the use of a phone to one mobile network.
Kasi ginagawa ng mga kababayan natin, no? Pumupunta sila, iba, illegal yon actually, na pumupunta sila sa Green Hills, ina-unlock nila doon, pero mahal ang bayad, mga 1,000 yata if I'm not mistaken. No? Pero ito libre dapat na pwede mong after na wala kang utang at after the lock-in period na nag-lapse na, pwede mo nang, kung gusto mo lang, no? Kung gusto mo lang, pwede mo nang pa-unlock yun.
The NTC said in the memo that mobile phone users must have the freedom to choose their network service provider. This will lead to telcos improving their services in order to keep and attract subscribers.
And siyempre, yung telco naman, kung alam na pwede na mayroon ng ganyang utos, they will have to put extra effort para hindi magpa-unlock yung subscriber nila, no? Kasi bakit gusto nila maglipat doon? Dahil purang service, no? So kung maganda naman ang servisyo, hindi na rin siguro pupunta doon.
Also indicated in the order is that telcos must offer their service for free to unlock their customers' mobile phones. All requests to unlock mobile phones and similar gadgets must be addressed within 2 business days. Otherwise, providers need to explain why a device cannot be unlocked or why it is taking longer to process. Telcos will unlock a subscriber's mobile phone through a request, but such request will be processed provided that the customer is in good standing and has completed the contract. Customers can also pay an early termination fee before requesting to unlock their phones. Not only postpaid subscribers can request to unlock their phones, but also prepaid subscribers provided they agree with the terms and conditions. Smart and Globe will be required to notify customers when the phones can be unlocked. They are also given the option to automatically open the service lines of these gadgets without additional fees. The rules will take effect starting June 18 this year. It can be noted the Lifetime Cell Phone Numbers Law, known as the Mobile Number Portability Act, was signed into law by President Rodrigo Duterte last February 8. The law allows cell phone users to keep their numbers for life, even if they would change service providers or subscription plans. Processing of a subscriber's request to change a mobile carrier should not exceed 48 hours as stated in the law. Telcos who will fail to do so will be fined up to 1 million pesos. And the subscriber will be awarded 40,000 pesos for damages. But according to the NTC, phone users who want to change their mobile carriers must first settle any debts with their current service provider. Mon Hoxon, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The Philippines will no longer send its delegation to climate change conferences outside the country, according to Foreign Affairs Secretary Teddy Locsin Jr. Meanwhile, the government lifts its travel ban to Canada. Rosalie Cos will explain why.
Following President Rodrigo Duterte's questioning of the significance of climate change conferences, Foreign Affairs Secretary Teddy Locsin Jr. rejects participation in talks on climate change that require air travel. He said the Philippines will just vote yes to radical proposals. No more talk. President Duterte mentioned during his address in the 25th Nikkei conference that climate change conferences from the beginning to the end have not accomplished anything and just waste the time and money of the people.
And I said to the body, let's stop kidding each other, or else we are just wasting the time and the money of the people coming back and forth to these conferences, which has not improved a bit since we started to talk about it.
The chief executive also hinted about the possibility of the Philippines' non-attendance in the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Bonn, Germany from June 17 to 27. The chief executive questioned the significance of such talks and reiterated no entity can enforce the laws on climate change.
Then again, this year, there's a coming conference of climate change. Then I posed this question. Maybe we will attend, maybe we will not. America has not signed the treaty. China got out of it. I don't think Russia is happy with its membership there. What ails the system now? What is this conference of climate change for? Is it just to talk? Because there is nobody, no entity to enforce the laws governing climate There is not even a sanction.
President Duterte has fired former Presidential Urban Poor Commission Chairman Terry Ridon because of alleged junkets and traveling several times outside the country to attend climate change conferences. Meanwhile, the palace has lifted the travel ban to Canada of government employees and officials. Malacanang had ordered before the department secretaries, head of agencies, government-owned and controlled corporations, and government financial institutions not to issue travel authorities for official foreign trips to Canada and limit the interaction with representatives of the Canadian government. Through a memorandum from Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, the government has lifted its directive after the Canadian waste containers were retrieved and brought back to Canada. Rosa Licoz, UNTV, News and Rescue, Philippines.
Pupils in Babag Elementary School in Butuan City avail of free school supplies and bags in a project launched by the Police Regional Office 13. Janice Inyente will tell us why.
Making and selling vinegar is the main livelihood of residents in Barangay Babag, Butuan City. To help parents provide for their children what they need for school year 2019-2020, the Philippine National Police or PNP Regional Office 13 launched the Bag Palit Plastic Program. Earlier today, over 200 pupils in Babag Elementary School availed of free school supplies and bags made from the campaign posters of the candidates in the May elections in exchange for plastic bottles the school children had collected. According to Brigadier General Gilberto D.C. Cruz, the project aims to teach school children to be responsible in caring for the environment.
Minumulat na natin yung murang kaisipan ng mga bata about yung ano ba yung tamang gawin. Pag hindi tayo tumigil yung paggamit ng plastic at tuloy-tuloy yung pagtatapon ng plastic sa mga dagat, sa mga ilog, magkakaroon na ng problema.
The chairman of Barangay Babag and the principal of Babag Elementary School say that this project is a great help for the families. The PNP has so far given away school supplies and bags to about 800 pupils, including those in Carmen, Agusan del Norte. The plastic bottles gathered in this project will be turned over to a chair factory. Janice Enhente, UNTV, News and Rescue, Philippines.
During spring in Japan, among the places tourists visit is the Yamanashi Prefecture. Kath Dumaraos tells us why.
Japan is known for its cherry blossom or sakura, and tourists flock for the hanami or the Japanese traditional custom of enjoying the transient beauty of flowers. But did you know that the island country is also popular for cherry picking or sakurambo gari? Yamanashi Prefecture, located southwest of Tokyo on the island of Honshu, is known as Japan's greatest kingdom of fruits because it produces a variety of fruits all year round. Here, cherry picking is popular among tourists.
Welcome to Yamanashi Cherry Picking! Sakurambo!
At 2,000 yen or 960 pesos for adults and 1,000 yen or 480 pesos for kids, the cherries are available for picking and eating within 40 minutes.
When flowers bloom, the pollination process takes place. We use feather dusters for the pollination, and through this there will be more produce. The growth of plants depends on the climate. There are years when there's little produce. There are years with much produce.
Yamanashi encompasses the northern part of Mount Fuji, where hundreds of thousands of visitors climb to the summit every year. The prefecture is where Lake Kawaguchi dominates, where tourists and locals enjoy various activities. For magnificent views of Mount Fuji and the Lake Kawaguchi, one may take the Mount Fuji Panoramic Ropeway. There are observation decks standing at 1,000 meters above sea level. A round-trip ride of the ropeway is worth 900 yen for adults and 450 yen for children. One-way rides and group rides are also available. Yamanashi is just a 1.5-hour ride from neighboring Tokyo and just over 2 hours by train. It's best to contact the ropeway office to prepare well for a visit. Kat Dumaraos, UNTV News and Rescue.
Up next on My News. PhilHealth files administrative complaints against a dialysis center for reportedly claiming benefits from deceased patients. And British veterans in their 90s recreate their parachute over Normandy 75 years after making D-Day jump. And thank you for keeping me company in the first part of One News. More reasons behind the stories with Angelo Castro III and William Pio after this quick break. I'm Alex Baltazar. Good evening.
A mechanical engineer, a graphic artist, and an IT technician will comprise the second set of contestants on a Song of Praise Music Festival this month.
Our God is faithful, Lord, you are able, you are wonderful. Ang lahat sa akin ay sapat. Saan magsasawa, sa bukod mo lang ako'y sagana. Pagyaan mo po sana.
Para sa akin, it's a solid song and it really sounds like a well-done praise song.
More than a lullaby, it's like someone is hugging you and reassuring you about the presence. No?
Ako'y agree sa dalawang hukom at ito ang aking prescription para sa iyo.
Welcome back to Y News. We pick up from where Alex Baltazar left off. I'm Angelo Castro III. Here are the headlines. PhilHealth files administrative complaints against a dialysis center for reportedly claiming benefit from deceased patients. Party list coalition to support Davao Mayor Sara Duterte's bid for the next House Speaker. The National Bureau of Investigation said to probe the allegations of Peter Jamil Advincula, alias Bicoy, the man behind ang totoong narcolist videos. And 5G technology seen to open opportunities for Filipinos. The Philippine Health Insurance Corporation files cases against a dialysis center over alleged ghost kidney treatments. Joanano tells us why.
Administrative cases have been filed against Welma Dialysis Center in Novaliches, Quezon City for misrepresentation and falsification, while 4 doctors have also been charged due to their alleged involvement in filing of a deceased patient's PhilHealth claims. In a press briefing this afternoon, PhilHealth disclosed that since November 2018, they have conducted a preliminary investigation on the said anomaly. It was found out that the dialysis center had filed the claims twice, although the patient underwent the treatment once. According to PhilHealth, they have already suspended the payment of claims of WellMed Dialysis Center in Quezon City, while they are also in the process of suspending its accreditation.
Completed several actions last year pa po. Our fact-finding and investigation and enforcement department conducted investigations, and they have finished their investigation as early as November to December 2018, and they have filed cases before the prosecution. So we have filed numerous cases against the doctors themselves. We have 4 doctors that were charged, and the facility itself. So it is not true that we have not acted on the complaints of the whistleblowers.
Based on PhilHealth's initial investigation, it was found out that several personnel from WellMed had forged the signature of a deceased patient to collect claims. PhilHealth discovered that the dialysis center had done this modus 28 times, while 12 other cases are still subject for verification. The Philippine Health Insurance also disclosed that 38 of their employees have been suspended over alleged involvement in a similar modus operandi. PhilHealth Acting President and CEO Dr. Roy Ferrer also revealed the alleged mafia inside the agency, who is in connivance in several corrupt practices within PhilHealth.
Actually, hindi na re-reassign, no? Dito sa PhilHealth, nakikita mo na gusto nila na sila nandoon for more than 20 years. And now we are getting more and more whistleblowers that are coming out to bring out what they are doing in the respective regions. Marami po, no? Mga tiwaling ginagawa po. At inimbestigahan na po namin ito.
But PhilHealth has strongly denied that the agency is not looking into these cases. Dr. Ferrer emphasized they are not condoning these corrupt practices. The issue came after it was published in a newspaper that several whistleblowers revealed that WellMed Dialysis Center was getting claims in PhilHealth of a deceased kidney patient. Apart from the dialysis center, PhilHealth also disclosed there were several hospitals, clinics, and physicians they are investigating due to alleged anomaly on PhilHealth claims. Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Pasig City.
The Teufel brothers are in hot water anew because of the unresolved case of the controversial 60 million peso advertisement deal between the Tourism Department and government channel PTV4 back in 2018. April Senadoza will tell us why.
It was on April 27, 2018, when the Commission on Auditor COA revealed the Tourism Department spent 60 million pesos in an advertisement contract with Kilos Pronto, PTV4's program hosted by Ben and Erwin Tulfo. Ben's firm Bitag Media Limited produces the said program. According to COA, the Department of Tourism or DOT entered into a 120 million peso deal to place advertisements on PTV. 75% of the said amount was supposed to go to Kilos Pronto, while the remainder was meant for other shows. As a result, the report sparked corruption allegations because Juan De Teo, whose program hosts are her brothers, was the DOT secretary during that time. Teo insisted there's no conflict of interest in the said deal because PTV4 decided where to place those advertisements. Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, Teo's legal counsel, announced the Tulfo brothers will return the 60 million peso payment just to put the issue to rest. On the same day, Teo's husband, Robert, resigned from his post as board member of Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority. The next day, it was Teo who resigned from her post as DOT chief to spare her family and President Rodrigo Duterte from harm and pain. In a Facebook post in July 2018, Ben was firm he would not return the money because the contract was legitimate. In August 2018, the Senate conducted a hearing on the matter. The Tulfo brothers and Teo denied the accusations against them. After a year, the controversial deal is not yet resolved between the government and the Tulfo brothers. On June 3, 2019, Special Envoy to China Mon Tulfo said Press Secretary Martin Andanar manipulated the controversial deal. Andanar, for his part, has yet to comment on the matter. Mon also told Ben to return the money, but Ben didn't do so. The Department of Justice, meanwhile, awaits the palace's directive on the issue. In a text message, Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara said the Office of the Ombudsman is investigating the deal, but assured the DOJ is willing to help in the probe. April Senedoza, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio celebrates her birthday in Singapore with House Speaker wannabe Congressman Lord Alan Velasco. Meanwhile, the party list coalition says they will support the presidential daughter's bet for House speakership. Grace Cassin explains why.
President Rodrigo Duterte has earlier said he will not intervene with the lower house in choosing the next House Speaker. With this statement, the party list coalition now says they will consider the endorsement of Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio.
If the principal, who is our president, will not give a decision, then probably the closest to the principal might. So we also need to consult with her.
In a Facebook post, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio can be seen celebrating her birthday in Singapore with House Speaker wannabe Congressman Lord Alan Velasco. But according to the post, the dinner was not planned, and the two had just accidentally met there. During the campaign for the midterm elections, Mayor Sara endorsed Velasco and Leyte Congressman-elect Martin Romualdez as the next House Speaker, but she later clarified that she supports whoever supports the president.
Si Mayor Sara Duterte, she's vital in the equation.
The palace again reiterated today that they will not interfere with nor intrude into the proceedings of Congress, neither in their politics. Aside from Velasco, among those running for a speaker are Leyte Representative-elect Martin Romualdez, Taguig Congressman-elect Alan Peter Cayetano, Davao del Norte Representative Pantalon Alvarez, and Pampanga Representative Don Gonzales. The election for Speaker of the House in the 18th Congress is on July 22. Grace Cassin, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The overall accuracy rate of the election results of the 2019 automated elections is 99.99% according to the Philippine Statistics Authority based on the random manual audit. This is the highest recorded accuracy rate since the 2010 automated elections, according to the PSA. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
After 22 days, the Random Manual Audit or ARMA team finished the manual counting of ballots from 715 selected clustered precincts. The Commission on Elections or COMELEC said it has reflected on the result of the ARMA that the overall accuracy rate of the 2019 automated elections is 99.9953%. This means the results of the vote counting machines match the result of the Random Manual Audit. According to Florante Varona of the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA, this is the highest recorded accuracy rate since the 2010 automated elections.
Yung highest when we compare yung completed as compared to the target sample size. So noong 2010, out of 1,145, ang natapos natin is 1,046, 91.4. But now, 2019, 711 out of 715.
COMELEC also reported that 4 of the clustered precincts which had been selected for the ARMA have not been manually counted. These are the clustered precincts from Quezon City because of excess ballots, clustered precincts in Ganasi, Lanao del Sur because of lost or missing ballots, clustered precincts in Infanta Quezon because of torn ballots, and clustered precincts in Mandaue City, Cebu because some ballots from other precincts were found inside ballot boxes. The poll body has investigation underway on the listed problems in the said clustered precincts. The PSA, on the other hand, said the problems in the clustered precincts have no effects on the overall accuracy of the ARMA. COMELEC and Poll Watchdog Legal Network for Truthful Elections or LENTE also clarified that the ARMA is a determining factor to verify the accuracy of the results which appear in vote counting machines.
We saw address in the RMA the past 22 days is yung issue ng resibo
na iba yung lumalabas sa resibo dun sa binibilang ng makina. At wala kaming nakitang balota dun sa 711 ballot boxes na in-audit ng mga teachers natin at sinupervise namin from PICPA and Lente na iba yung lumabas dun sa bilang at dun sa makina. So yun yung isang issue siguro na nakita naming na-address nitong ginawa nating RMA.
In the next 2 weeks, COMELEC, Lente, and the Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants, or PICPA, will issue the overall assessment of the random annual audit of election returns in the recently held 2019 midterm elections.
Ito, initial report lang po ito. You would expect other, so to speak, crunch the figures, no? May gagawa tayo ng analysis, may projection, yun ang gagawin ng PSA and the committee. In the samples, overvotes, total number of misplaced marks, ibig sabihin misplaced, yung hindi nilagay sa bilog yung kanilang boto. Meron din tayong total number of inadequate marks. So these are information that we will put in the final report.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
The National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, is set to probe the allegations of Peter Jamil Advincula, the man who has publicly claimed to be alias Bicoy in the Ang Totoong Narcolist videos. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara says they are asking for a copy of Advincula's affidavit submitted to the Philippine National Police. The DOJ will also scrutinize if Advincula qualifies to be under the government's Witness Protection Program. Advincula has claimed he is the Bicoy in the video series linking President Rodrigo Duterte's family members and several others to the illegal drug trade, but later on retracted his statements and said he had been paid by the opposition and Senator Antonio Trillanes IV to taint the president's reputation. The PNP Police Security and Protection Group will give police escorts to those who have threats on their lives. These include civilians, politicians, media personalities, and businessmen. Leah Ilagan will tell us why.
The Philippine National Police Security and Protection Group, or PNP-PSPG, are willing to give police escort to applicants with threats on their lives. This includes civilians, media personalities, politicians, and businessmen. PSPG Director, Police Brigadier General Filmor Escobar says they only need to apply at the PSPG office. Applicants may fill out a form, attach a threat assessment from the nearest police station, and a request letter.
Yung request po ipadala sa Philippine National Police, address kay Chief PNP, Attention Director PSPG. Pag matanggap namin yung request, ito po ay aming ipoproseso. Magkakaroon po ng initial evaluation yung PSPG. After ng initial evaluation, ipo-forward natin, ipapadala natin yung documents sa Directorate for Intelligence, sa validation ng threat.
If the Directorate for Intelligence validates the threat, the PSPG will give a maximum of 2 police escorts to the requesting individual. Corporal to Police Chief Master Sergeant ranks may be tasked with the police escort duty. Escobar added, the protectee will only provide transportation allowance, billeting, and meal allowance to the police escorts. The privilege of having police escorts will be revoked if the protectee uses his security detail in illegal activities and for harassments. It is also not allowed to use police escorts in personal errands like paying bills and to make them personal assistants like having them carry a protectee's bag. Escobar clarified the duration of the availment of police escorts is just 6 months, to give way to another assessment if the protectee is still under threat and to know if it does not violate such conditions.
After review, nawala na yung threat. Wala na yung threat, hindi na nag-exist yung threat. So pwede na siyang tanggalin. Pangalawa, there are some other reasons like violation po ng conditions doon sa availment. Ito po ang conditions na ito, nakasaad po ito sa undertaking na ginagawa na isa sa mga dokumento na sinasama doon sa application.
Escobar added the protectee may still avail of the police escort after they apply anew. Attitude and good moral character are among the requirements during the assessment of an application. Leah Ilagan, UNTV, News and Rescue, Cam Krame.
The Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, urges taxpayers who fail to pay their taxes to file application for tax amnesty. Republic Act 11213, or the Tax Amnesty Law, will allow delinquent taxpayers to pay a certain percentage of their total tax liabilities. Under BIR's revenue collection process, criminal complaints will be filed once an individual failed to pay taxes, after the BIR failed to get properties, and after it issues a warrant. The BIR advises the public not to wait for a criminal complaint to be filed, since it will be more difficult to settle civil and criminal liabilities.
Inaalaw ng batas na magbayad sila ng uncertain percentage. Hindi ho kami sisingil ng buong liability nila. Mag-apply lang sila ng tax amnesty. They can pay 40% of basic tax to have clean slate para mawala po yung liability nila. Kaya lang po, pag na-filean namin sila ng criminal case before the DOJ, magiging 60% na po yung rate nung kailangan nilang isettle.
Basketball stars that entertained the Filipino nation in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s that gathered in the name of charity in the UNTV Cup PBA Legends Faceoff admire the concept of the month-long pocket tournament. Nina Armilio will tell us why.
The League of Public Servants, UNTV Cup, is known for being a basketball tournament with a heart for those in need, and its off-season edition this time around is no different. The unprecedented UNTV Cup off-season PBA Legends Faceoff has gathered legends in the pro basketball scene in the country in the name of charity.
Nakakatuwa, nagkaroon ng ganitong pagsasama-sama na binuo ng UNTV para magsama-sama ulit mga PBA Legends.
Very thankful talaga kasi napakalaking event to, lalo na sa mga para sa foundation. Malaking tulong, so very thankful talaga kami.
Another brainchild of Mr. Public Service, Kuya Daniel Rason, the PBA Legends Faceoff aims to give assistance to the PBA Legends Foundation with the objective to help in the medical needs and extend death financial assistance of retired players who played in the PBA for 1975 to 1990 and beyond up to the year 2000 era.
Sana mas marami pang mga ganito para mas marami kaming mapasaya at matulungan pa ng mga ex-PBA na nangangailangan ng tulong.
Yun ang napakasarap. Kaya nakita natin lahat talaga nag-oo sa mga ex-pros na that's in need, yung kailangan ng support. Siyempre, para sa kanila to.
Even the basketball enthusiasts admire the charity element of the tourney.
Maganda talaga yung adhikain ng ganitong mga events. Nagbibigay talaga ng tulong sa mga players.
Maganda yung yung lagi silang may ganito na palaro para na sa foundation sa mga PBA players na mga yung mga may karamdaman.
Siguro magiging successful pa yan sa mga darating na panahon.
According to Kuya Daniel, a lot more is in store for the PBA legends and their fans in the seasons to come.
Napasimulan na natin ito and very cooperative naman even the PBA, even yung mga players nila, and not only yung mga ngayon ay rival teams na naglalaro but also other players na kapag signify naman sila ng kanilang support para dun sa liga. So hopefully mas magkakaroon pa tayo ng ibang mga innovations as to how we are going to present that as part of our charity works.
UNTV will donate 2 million pesos to the PBA Legends Foundation, formerly known as Samahan ng mga dating profesional na basketballista ng Pilipinas Foundation Inc. in the one-month pocket tournament. Nina Armilio, UNTV, News and Rescue.
The UNTV Cup off-season PBA Legends Face-Off will feature another doubleheader this Sunday, June 9 at the Pasig City Sports Center. In the first game, San Miguel will take on Alaska at 12 p.m., while Pure Foods will meet Ginebra in the second game at 1:30 p.m. San Miguel and Alaska teams both won on the first game day last Sunday. Tickets are available at the venue.
A wide door of opportunities for Filipinos is seen if 5G technology will be available in the country. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
Super fast and cheaper internet connectivity is one of the features of the 5th generation wireless or 5G. Department of Information and Communications Technology or DICT officer in charge, Eliseo Rio, said telecom companies in the country are already capable of catering 5G, but handsets built for it are not yet available. Smartphones in the market are now only long-term evolution or LTE ready, which is generation 4.5.
Kung ngayon ay nakaka-download tayo ng isang buong movie, no? In less than mga 3 minutes. Sa 5G, seconds na lang ang binibilang dito.
This technology is also used in driverless cars.
Kung gagamitin mo nga sa kotse, no, at mayroong kagad obstacle dyan, hindi ka hintay ng mga 2 seconds, 3 seconds bago mag-react yung kotse mo. No? Split second. So doon ang 5G. Kailangan yung bilis. No?
The DICT cites that 5G technology will give Filipinos opportunities to engage more in online jobs like teaching, animation, and web development.
May bago kaming term for OFW, no? Dati, you have to go out overseas to earn US dollars. Ngayon, online Filipino workers. You don't have to go out the Philippines to earn dollars as long as we have very fast connectivity. At dito makatulong ang 5G.
Some online articles state that 5G technology compromises public health due to radiation that cell phone towers emit. But DICT argued there is no proven study to back the claim up.
Mas ang probability, kung totoo yun, mas ang probability na makakuha tayo ng cancer is through our cell phones than through a cell site. No? Pero wala rin tayo nakikitang concrete evidence na yung tong cellphone na halos araw-araw ay nasa tabi natin ay nakapag-cause na ng cancer. No?
The Department of Health and the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute or PNRI has the same argument. The PNRI noted that companies with advanced technology like Japan and the United States will not allow 5G technology if it affects the citizens' health.
Pag lumabas kayo sa araw, for example, tag-init, radiation po yan eh. Kasi electromagnetic wave yung light rays, no? So pwede kang UV, pwede kang UV is also radiation. And in fact, that is more harmful than any radiation coming from the phone.
The DICT said 5G technology will be available in the Philippines in 2 to 3 years' time. Ray Pelayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Education is now within arm's reach of 36 persons deprived of liberty in Occidental Mindoro. Aside from basic education, they will be equipped with livelihood skills. Vincent Arboleda will tell us why.
With the aim to provide free education to those under penance, the Occidental Mindoro State College has partnered with the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA for the Pisara sa Celda program. 36 persons deprived of liberty in the San Jose District Jail in Occidental Mindoro who did not finish elementary education have availed of the benefits of the project this year. Other than basic education, they are also taught ways on how to earn a living.
Yung maboost yung moral nila na hindi ito yung dahil nakakulong sila, ito yung katapusan ng buhay nila.
Hindi man nila nakuha yung formal na edukasyon sa malayang lipunan, nakakamit naman nila yung kanilang mga NC2 eligibility habang sila'y narito. At yan nga po ay dahil sa programa ng Pisara sa Celda.
The program, which is the first of its kind in the Mimaropa region, has been running for 2 years. Vincent Arboleda, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Beauty chain Sephora has closed its U.S. stores for diversity training a month after a singer said she had been racially profiled. Janiel Panoy tells us why.
As the lead singer of a New Orleans-based soul and hip-hop band, Tank and the Bangas, tried to enter a Sephora store in Times Square on Wednesday, she learned about the efforts of the cosmetics chain is undertaking to combat racism. Sephora shut down all its U.S. locations, distribution centers, and corporate offices for an hour Wednesday morning to conduct diversity training for employees, a move that follows a racial incident involving a Grammy-nominated singer, SZA. The R&B performer, who is black, said in April she was racially profiled at a Sephora store in Calabasas, California. SZA said in a post on a social media website, Twitter, that a Sephora employee she identified as Sandy called security to make sure the singer was not stealing from the store.
All we want to do is shop and be, respected like anybody else that walks in the store. It's messed up. And it's cultural. Should they do this? Yes. Will it help? I don't know.
Sephora apologized to SZA in a tweet and emailed Reuters a statement saying that the diversity training had been in the works months before the incident. New York resident Jeff Larson said he believes it will take more than 1 hour of training to overcome bias.
I think there is so much ingrained racism, whatever you want to call it. People do not embrace diversity naturally. I think that would have to come from the culture itself. A single day teaching people are okay, no, it's not going to change.
But Catherine Herzer, also a New York area resident, said it's a good start.
I feel like working in New York City, we are kind of the example because we are so diverse. So if we cannot get it right and understand how to be inclusive and support all different types of people, then no one else is going to get it right. So it's important that we have diversity training.
Sephora's workshops come about a year after Starbucks closed 8,000 stores across the country for anti-bias training after a Philadelphia cafe manager's call to police resulted in the arrest of 2 black men who were waiting for a friend. Janiel Pano, UNTV News and Rescue, USA.
Central American leaders discuss migrant situation in Guatemala talks. Meanwhile, the former head of Thailand's military junta has been selected as the country's next prime minister. This report explains why. In Thailand's new parliament confirmed military junta leader General Prayut Chan-o-cha as civilian prime minister 5 years after he seized power from an elected government while he was army chief. The 500 to 244 vote came after a March 24 general election that opposition parties say was designed to extend and legitimize military dominance over government. Prayut will now lead an unwieldy 19-party coalition government that has a slim majority in the lower house of representatives but could be vulnerable to defections and infighting. In Guatemala, heads of state and government officials from Central American nations met in Guatemala City, where the region's migration dilemma was high on the agenda. It comes as United States President Donald Trump threatens to put tariffs on Mexico to put pressure on the country to stop the flow of Central American migrants heading north towards the United States. During the meeting, the group talked up efforts to keep Central American citizens in their countries. They have committed to a report on the factors that see thousands head overland towards the United States. And those are the news from the other parts of the globe. Back to you, William.
Thank you very much, Kath de Maraos, reporting live from Bangkok, Thailand. Amazon said Wednesday that it plans to use self-piloted drones to deliver packages to shoppers' home in the coming months. The online shopping giant did not give exact timing or say where the drones will be making deliveries. Amazon said its new drones use computer vision and machine learning to detect and avoid people or clotheslines in backyards when landing. Jeff Wilk, who oversees Amazon's retail business, said the drones are fully electric and can fly up to 24 kilometers, deliver in 30 minutes, and carry goods that weigh up to 2.3 kilograms like a paperback or toothpaste. Wilk said that the company is working with several regulatory agencies to get approval. Two British war veterans in their mid-90s recreate their parachute landing in Sunnyvale, France in 75 years after their World War II arrival. Jovic Burmas will tell us why.
DDay veterans Harry Reid, 95 years old, and Jock Hatton, 94 years old, parachuted over the fields of Normandy, northern France, 75 years after they jumped behind German defenses on D-Day in an operation that helped turn the tide of World War II. Dressed in red jumpsuits, Harry and Jock performed tandem jumps with the British Parachute Regiment's free-fall display team, the Red Devils. Reid was a 20-year-old wireless operator and Hatton a 19-year-old in the 13th Parachute Battalion of the British Army. Hatton had already recreated the feat for the 65th and 70th anniversary of D-Day.
Must realize that Harry and I both jumped into Normandy during a war, so this was a reincarnation of it. Quite enjoyable too.
Reid had already conducted a practice jump to raise money for the Salvation Army and described the sense of duty he had felt when fighting in the war.
It wasn't only a question of patriotism, though I am a patriot, but it was a question that it had to be done. It had to be done.
The commemorations also brought together the greatest number of Douglas C-47 Dakota aircraft since World War II, flying the same route as they did 75 years ago. In the early hours of June 6, 1944, more than 150,000 Allied troops set off from Portsmouth and the surrounding area to begin the air, sea, and land attack on Normandy that ultimately led to the liberation of Western Europe from the Nazi regime. The Dakota Ducks were the planes that dropped the first airborne assault troops in Normandy as the invasion got underway. The refurbished Ducks were among a number of other planes that took off from Duxford Imperial War Museum Airfield in England's east as part of the anniversary commemorations. Jovic Bermas, UNTV News and Rescue, Europe.
And those are the reasons behind the news this June 6, 2019. On behalf of Alex Baltazar and Angelo Castro III, I am William Theo, and before we close, we will recap today's significant sound bites. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Good evening.
Ang makikita na lang siguro natin kung sakali mag-increase yung ating electricity bills is because primarily due to more consumption o mas madaming paggamit po ng kuryente sapagkat as far as rates are concerned, bumaba nga po yung presyo ng kuryente.
The numerous cases against the doctors themselves. We have 4 doctors that were charged and the facility itself. So it is not true that we have not acted on the complaints of the whistleblowers.
And I said to the body, let's stop kidding each other, or else we are just wasting the time and the money of the people coming back and forth to these conferences, which has not improved a bit since we started to talk about it.
If the principal, who is our president, will not give a decision, then probably the closest to the principal might. So we also need to consult with her.
Napasimulan na natin ito. And very cooperative naman, even the PBA, even yung mga players nila. And not only yung mga ngayon ay rival teams na naglalaro, but also other players. Nakapag-signify naman sila ng kanilang support para dun sa liga. So hopefully, mas magkakaroon pa tayo ng ibang mga innovations as to how we're going to present that as part of our charity works.